Just like that, baby, we're back at it with another brand new episode of the Twitch podcast where we just bring you the latest and greatest and all the interesting stuff that this world has to offer with a little comedic twist, I guess you could say. But it's not right without my boy here, the White Rhino, aka Brett. How are you today, brother?
I'm doing really good, man. Just losing money.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So what's up with the background? Give us a good explanation. And the fact that you're drinking is probably gonna make this interesting. Whether if it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, either way.
Non-alcoholic.
Alcoholic. Okay. We're still keeping that same. We're still keeping the trill.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I've got something timed out. My wife, she's been playing on the internet, and she got.
What the fuck?
Dude, check this out. I'm gonna pop this open. It's called Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey Chocolate Bars. So check this out. Check this out. For anybody on video,
show the people,
you're gonna see it.
The viewers and the listeners.
Yeah, for the listeners, just imagine me pulling out a candy bar, but it's gonna be
from his pocket.
Pretty amazing. It's gold wrapped. Okay. And then I have these really dark glasses, so I can't see anything. But check it out. See those mounds? I'm gonna break it and check it out. In one of those mounds.
Let's hear that little pop.
ASMR here.
ASMR time, baby. The first time we're gonna get an ASMR from the Sifting podcast right here live.
Mm-hmm. In every one of these mounds is just a little bit of Jack Daniel's whiskey.
No shit, really.
So you're eating, yeah.
Like
so you're getting your whiskey and your chocolate.
Really?
I kid you not. So I don't know where's you got them.
How many of those would it take for you to get just absolutely hammered?
We're gonna find out tonight.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, it's a good experiment. I mean, people want to know. They're probably curious, like, shit, how many of those do I have to really take? And it's also kind of secretive too, because in case like maybe you're one of those people that, I mean, I don't condone this by any means whatsoever. I'm just saying though, if this is how you roll, it is what it is. But imagine if you're technically drinking and driving, you're actually chewing and driving, or
right? Yeah,
eating and driving, right?
How many Jack Daniel's candy bars did you get, you alcoholic?
That's interesting. Wow. So she just surprised you one day with those?
Yeah, I just walked in today and she's like, hey, she's all like slurring. She's like, you should try some of these.
I just swayed down.
I'm like, give them over here. Yeah, she's like,
That's interesting, huh?
I've smoking a cigarette. She just got back from the convenience store. Baby wasn't even in the seatbelt seat. She was just right in the front seat. Yeah, man, we keep it going. felt like I was a kid again, man. Watching my parents raise me.
It's like a rewind of what happened to you when you were younger. You know
exactly. I've come full circle.
It's happening. You're reliving the cycle again. Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of alcoholic chocolate, I guess, or yeah, pretty much that's what it is, right,
dude? Yeah, and so yeah. So that's that. And my fast is over. I can now eat and drink anything I want. Yeah, hey, this one was actually, it went so well that I'm actually going to continue going. I'm going to DC here in the spring, and right. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going, keep doing what I'm doing, and just see how cool I can look, how much I can slim down by the time I hit the Capitol. Maybe I'll meet George Washington or whatever. But that's the goal. Just gotta do all that. But the other day, dude, I was listening to you on the this and that, or this or that podcast with your homie Matt. And dude, you guys rocked that episode. That I was Thanks, like, man. I just I kept it on and I was watching that. I was listening to you guys, and I learned a ton, and actually you made me want to watch the one with John Cena you were talking about.
Dude, yes. It's very but thank you again for the kind words, man. And for anybody that with what my boy was talking about, we're actually doing live episodes for this and that, which we're gonna try to do every Wednesday live at, I would say, around maybe 5:30 Pacific Standard Time for anybody that wants to tune in. We pretty much cover Wednesday, Marvel, right? Yes, we pretty much cover Marvel, DC, Star Wars, anything tech, just kind of stuff that We find common interest, me and Matt. Shout out to him. I'm actually just really happy that he was committed to doing this, because I know
Yeah.
it's a lot for people to actually get in front of the camera, especially when you're on live and talk about this stuff, just,
Yep.
in front of the camera. But he was clean enough to do so, and pretty much that's how this and that came about, and it's under the Tip Tick podcast umbrella. And we're just trying to do this just to give you more, everybody more content, just to kind of put it out there and really just spread the word. Whether if you're more like on the DC Marvel side, whatever, but or if you're more over here on our end where we just go everywhere, but we talk about conspiracies and just the most random shit that's happening in this lovely world that we're living in. So, but yeah, man, it went well. It went well, definitely. And yeah, I enjoy doing it. And it's actually just, it reminds me of the times where I was going live on Mixer when that was, popping off, before they fucking pulled the plug on that, and even Twitch. But I mean, yeah, it was cool and I enjoyed it. And yeah, dude, Peacemaker, that's the show that, John Cena's in.
Okay.
Very, very, very funny. And the fact that John Cena wasn't really looked at, to me personally, like I said, just my opinion, wasn't really looked at as like he was just more like a wrestler, like in that category of a wrestler, and that was it, right? But slowly we started seeing him more in movies and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, he's pretty funny. He's got some pretty good, like, decent movies where he fell into where it actually worked out for him. But now with this, I feel like it catapulted him to where I think he found his niche where, like, he's doing good, like, with this show. So I mean, definitely go watch it. Go.
So is this on like Disney Plus or what? How do you watch it?
No, it's on HBO Max. It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So that they're holding that. So you'll have to catch that. It's only 4 episodes in so far, and I don't know how many episodes total it's gonna be, but I mean, like, it's gotten really good reviews from what I've seen. So it's pretty good, and I think it's the humor that you would like personally, Brett, just because like me and you are on that same level of humor. So I think you would enjoy it personally.
That's when you were telling me about his mannerisms and how nonchalant he was about grabbing the gun and then with the marker drawing on the gun. I'm like, dude, that's right down my alley.
Oh, dude, you're gonna get a kick out of it. I'm telling you, man, you'll enjoy it. I know you will. But yeah, definitely check us out on that. You can catch all the stuff related to that too on our Instagram at the Tip Tick podcast. But check us out. But one thing I do want to talk about before I lose my train of thought. One of my boys talking about his fast, I actually saw him yesterday, and I even told him, man, for being on a fast for, I think you were saying like about 2 to 3 weeks, you dropped like around, you said like 17 pounds, right? 17, 18 pounds, something like that.
Oh yeah, I lost. Yeah, today was my last official weigh-in. I'm down 17 from the 1st of January.
It's crazy how like the difference that I've seen. I'm telling you, man, you look good, you look slimmer, and it was just so noticeable. And like I told him when I first seen him, I'm like, damn, I don't know if I was looking at Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Reynolds' twin. So definitely my boy killed it with his fast here. So it was yeah. I mean, I'm kind of curious to try something like that myself, but dude, I fucking love eating. That's just my problem. Like I hate, like, I mean, I bet I could probably do it for a week. I mean, I can like, get my mindset to do that, but I mean, you do it every year, so for you it's like a thing where you're already like kind of like ready mentally to do that, like every other January, right? So or every January, I would say. But yeah, man, you definitely did an awesome job, and that's cool that you're gonna continue it on, because like you said, like it does change, I guess, your energy pattern is increased and you feel better. Like you almost feel like you're cleansed in a way, right? So I would assume, again, I'm just going off kind of what I see and what you tell me. So that's dope, dude. I mean, I applaud you for that. And again, for anybody that dude, you should probably post up kind of something like what you do or some of the stuff that you eat and stuff like that, because it was really interesting that your wife posted up like a post of like the food that you were eating.
Yeah, a lot of
pretty cool.
A lot of quinoa, a lot of kidney beans, and then what I would do, I'd take the quinoa and the kidney beans, I'd mix them up, and then I'd throw the slices of jalapeno on there, and that was just it was like the perfect mix right there.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so for those that don't know, I was on it's called a Daniel fast, and basically you have to go 21 days, no animal products whatsoever. So no animals and no, like no milk, no eggs, no cheese, no nothing. And it's just fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and water. Water is the only drink. Now, some people deviate a little bit. They'll say, "Oh no, you can drink tea or whatever." But for me, the way I do it, it's water only. And really, I mean, it's for spiritual, your faith, all that, and so I had that kind of going on the side too. But as far as the food intake and all that, the goal is to show you that you really can live without all these corporate made foods that are just
Mm-hmm.
literally made to kill you. You know, when
Yeah,
you go into the grocery store,
unfortunately.
you can read the sodium, you can read, you know, the trans fats, you can read all those ingredients, and it's like 9 out of 10 of those ingredients are there to kill you. You know, and it's no, you know, it's no surprise that I think it's over 3/4 of Americans now are overweight. And if you want to save the most money, uh, the best way you can do it is just start with your diet, you know, and just eat right. I can tell you, just in that 21 days, and like I said, I'm going to continue this and hopefully turn it into a lifestyle. It felt good. Like I was getting better sleep because there was no
Mm-hmm.
caffeine. I wasn't getting all jacked up on caffeine, and you know, just everything. Like the foods I would eat before, I would feel lethargic. I would be like, I would eat and I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to do anything, and but now it's just like I've got all this natural energy, and it's just like, man, I can't stop right now, you know, and
Yeah.
it feels like it takes 5 years off you. That's what's
Yeah.
crazy about it. So
That's
yeah,
awesome though, man. Yeah, definitely. And you know, it's a good thing to if you want to stick to it, man. I don't blame you. Fuck, if you're feeling that great, like you know, it's. I mean, it would be a challenge, but I think you could do it. I mean, you did it for pretty much close to a month or 8 months, so it's you know, fucking do a year, see how what happens. You know, I bet you would be at the
right.
probably at the peak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know, and the cool thing about, you know, it's like many cultures celebrate and you know, with food. It's just we are festive, and food is always the thing that brings us together. And so that's going to be the hardest thing, is like, okay, so when, you know, you have birthdays, when you have all these events, how do you do it? Well, you know,
Yeah,
moderation is going to be the secret on that. Just,
yeah.
you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, but you know,
I,
just
I
know when
think
to cut it off.
that's the thing. Like you dude, exactly hit the nail on the head. I think that's one thing that I try to tell myself, even like I said, because I love to eat. I mean, fuck, you put something in front of me, I'll most likely gonna fucking eat it.
I know
But
that.
you're right. In moderation, you just want to have a little bit here and there. You know, something to where it's gonna, you know, you're gonna feel yourself, and then also you don't want to be like feeling so like just full as hell, miserable.
Right.
It's just horrible. To, you know, you want to get up, move around. You're just uncomfortable. I think it's that point where, to me, like I just don't like being at where, like, especially if you're out and about or whatever. You know, you don't want to just like overeat and everything and then just feel super just like bloated. You know, so
Absolutely.
I mean,
And,
yeah, I could definitely feel you on
dude,
that, brother.
and you know, and there were so many foods like you know, what made it very hard for me in the very beginning. I've been doing it for 10 years now. And the first few, I want to say the first 7 years were the hardest because, you know, like literally, you know, when I grew up, my parents didn't make me any vegetables or, you know, make
Mm-hmm.
me eat anything good or healthy. I mean, in my house, it was always cereal. I would eat 3 times a day, you know. I mean, and there was no, and if it was cooking, it was hamburger helper, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just loaded with sodium. So my parents just did not raise me to have any type of good diet whatsoever. You know, they were the
Yeah.
worst eaters, and they had the worst, and maybe it's just because they didn't know how to cook, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that's where I picked up on that. And then so now that I'm older and I have my own family, I'm thinking, well, you know, I don't want to die young. I don't want to have all these health problems. You see it every day. You
Mm-hmm.
see people all the time. You know, you get people in their 40s, 50s already in those mobile wheelchairs, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, that you could have prevented that. And that's what I said to myself, you know, not to shame anybody at
Mm-hmm.
all. More of just a self challenge where you're like, okay, you know, and can you do this, and what do you want to live for? You know, I want to see my kids, I want to see my grandkids, I want to be active. So, you know, that's really what it's all about. It's just it was
Definitely.
all internal, you know. It was
Agreed. No, I agree.
nobody on my back, nobody like, hey, you got to lose some weight, you know. No. I don't listen to nobody, I just listen to me.
Thug life, baby. Thug
Hmm.
life. No, that's what's up, man. This is definitely so awesome. That's very awesome. I definitely wanted to share that just with the peeps, just because, like I said, the results are real. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own two eyes. So yeah, man. Good shit.
Thank you very
Good
much,
shit.
bro.
But one thing in regards to eating and all that and being healthy, you actually brought up a good. I mean, I guess we can add this to our segment of this episode. I think we're not gonna call it with the what the fucks. I mean, we're actually gonna call it off the tip from here on out. I think it's
Off
just
the
because it's gonna
tip.
be off the tip. You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
it.
So,
More family
so
friendly.
exactly, family friendly. We're trying to make it to every fucking what is it, mobile device and TV in every home. So yeah, that's why we're doing a little adjustments as we go on. But you actually brought up a good point, or not a good point, but a good what is a subject in regards to. I've heard this before too, and I bet a lot of you people that are watching this episode and are probably listening to it, they've heard that alcohol is supposed to be healthy, or a glass of wine is supposed to be healthy for you or be beneficial to you. I think they said heart wise really good for your heart or something like that. But
Yeah.
fill us in. I mean, I don't know if if you have something up like that, like maybe you've read about it in detail in regards to the article, but like, so what did they say that
Well,
they're doing these studies where they find out it's not really what it's turned out to be?
yeah. Well, I didn't read the article as well as I should have,
Yeah.
because I've been getting murdered in crypto this week. So I've just been focusing
Just
on
be in the
that.
background.
But this article I came across, it was talking about, it's like the World Health Organization or something,
Mm-hmm.
some big people, and they're telling us that even a glass of wine or a night is bad for you, and wine has always, red wine at night has
Mm-hmm.
always been promoted as healthy.
Yeah.
But now they're saying, and this is where I had an issue with the article, is there sorry, beer's kicking in. First beer
It's
I've
that
ever
whiskey.
had
It's that
since.
whiskey
Yeah,
chocolate.
that's what it is. um but they're talking about how they're so, like, alcoholism is on the rise, not just in America but worldwide, and it just more and more people are getting drunk. So they're I think they're conflating the two. What they're taking is it's like when you're a kid and the one sibling does something, right, gets in trouble, and then the family, the parents ground all the kids for
Mm-hmm.
the thing. The one, that's what I was getting out of this article. They were saying that alcohol was bad for you. Listen, for years doctors have said, hey, a glass of wine is okay, a glass of wine. But again, it comes down to moderation. And so I'm calling bull on it. I don't think that, I mean, yeah, if you're an alcoholic, you shouldn't be drinking an alcohol at all, not even a glass of wine, right? But
True
you're in
that.
your own group. You're out of our club now. For those of us that do want to promote healthy living and healthy eating and healthy, we are caring about our heart, and we want to have a glass of wine, we're okay. We are not hurting anybody. So get off our jock.
Yeah. Tip off the dick, in other words, you know what I'm
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying?
saying. It's like, dude, just stop, But and it is okay. Like, I'm okay with you promoting abstinence from drinking, right? If you are saying, hey, guys, you're drinking too much or whatever, but separate the groups. Don't take the responsible ones and lump them in with the ones that are getting DUIs and having liver failure and having heart failure. They're acting a fool, they're in jail. Dude, that ain't our club, dog. That ain't our club. Stay out of it. Like, quit saying it's like I don't even mean to go here, but it's like every time I hear Joe Biden saying this pandemic is the war on the unvaccinated, I'm going, your vaccinations aren't even working. They're not even stopping people from getting sick. And the people that are getting sick and getting COVID, they have the higher antibodies that are helping them for the next time they get sick, if they get sick. So it's not a war on the unvaccinated, just like it's not a war on people that want to have a glass of wine a night. I'm so sick of this nanny state that they're trying to get this world to live under.
I think yeah, they blow up the narrative a little too much, where they're really they're really kind of blowing it up more than what it really is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of the issue where. Actually, well, what's crazy, I'm gonna add to that. They said that now they're saying, which was, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, that they're saying that if you get the Omicron virus, it's supposed to give you like better immunity if you were to get it and just go through with it. Then once
Right.
you have that, then you would be good and you would be protected against any other variant. So I'm like, wait, this is kind of the thing that they've been saying before. Why is it any different now with the Omicron? Like it just didn't make sense. It was just like I don't even know anymore. It's like this was like, dude, at this point, I think everybody's gonna have to get it. It's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have to push forward. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I
People
look at it. Again, that's just my opinion.
I think what happened is you have a lot of politicians, a lot of mayors, a lot of governors across this country that got drunk, no pun intended, off of power. And
Yeah.
they just fell in love with these rent moratoriums, these closing of businesses, these, I mean, it was like they loved having people dependent on the state. Oh, you want a stimulus package? Well, you better mask up. You better get vaccinated. Oh, you want a job? Shut up. Just let us live our lives. Let us
Yeah.
live our lives pre 2001. Seems like once the trade centers got knocked down, probably by our own country, then it's like they started taking all kinds of control. Can't even go to the airport anymore without getting hassled.
Yeah. Fucking patted down. I mean, you're just trying to get through. You might have had a little blow in the bathroom. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is. Who cares? You shouldn't.
Oh,
If you want to bring a little marijuana on an airplane, right? You shouldn't have to stick it up your bum just to try to get through the gate. No,
they call that keystring, right?
I don't. I don't know, bro. I never did it.
I swear I could have heard it like on one of those shows where how they fucking managed to like snuggle shit through the fucking airports and all that. Again, I'm sorry if I fucking got that wrong, but I think that's what they call it, keystring. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah. What's crazy? I've always heard that though. That remedy of I don't say it's a remedy, but that whole thing of if you enjoy a glass of wine like once a day, it's supposed to be good for your heart and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to say it's not. So I mean. But again, in moderation, key word.
I'm just saying,
don't slam a whole bottle down either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have 2,000 years of history as our evidence. So shut up. You don't get to enslave our minds. No. This is freedom.
There you go, baby. Land of the free. U.S. of A.
That's right.
All right. Let's shift to another topic. All right. In regards to you're saying freedom. I don't think this is really freedom, but I was trying to make a connection there and I failed horribly. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. So we've been talking about the metaverse a lot here on the Titwitch podcast. And of course, you can catch all the previous episodes that we've actually talked about the metaverse in general and what it is and all that, explaining that. Go check it out. But something interesting is happening. No, I want to say, yeah, it is interesting. And I'm curious to see how they're going to do this, how are they going to implement this in the meta.
Okay.
So Dana White, of course, I guess he's the chief or the head honcho over there at the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Quote, we're looking to do a fight in the metaverse. Dana White says UFC is moving towards a metaverse. So this is what the article says.
Okay.
Currently, the UFC led by Dana White is the biggest promotion in the MMA business, from some of the best fighters in the world to innovative ways of capturing a sizable chunk of the audience. The UFC has been leading the MMA business. However, other promotions are giving a tough competition. As a result, it becomes important for the UFC to keep giving the fans the experience that no other promotion can.
Wow.
In a recent conversation on the Full Send podcast, it should have been the Titwitch podcast, but it is what it is.
Sorry, we'll get there.
The UFC president spoke about the promotion's future plans. He revealed they were working on making fights happen in the metaverse. If they managed to do this, the MMA fans would get to experience something extremely novel. It sure would add a gigantic leap in the MMA business.
That's amazing. So so there's a real fight going on, but then you and I are putting on our goggles and we're like there.
That's kind of how I took it. I did see the clip. There is a clip out there. I bet if you put, what is it, Dana White Metaverse, he was explaining how pretty much you would plug yourself in and then you would actually be able to watch the fight like if you were there. So
wow.
I would think it's almost putting you at the freaking arena where
ringside
they're
tickets.
having this fight at. Yeah, you would be ringside, and I mean, now the question is, would it be at an affordable price, or would they really charge you the same price that they would charge you if you really went there physically to go get the tickets and actually attend there physically? That's the question. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I guess it's kind of more. I think for him, he's looking more for that title of. It's going to be beneficial for him at the end of the day. He's going to make money, but I think it's also to be like, well, this was the first fight in the metaverse, UFC, whatever number they're at right now, and, promote that. So, But I mean, dude, it's real. I mean, if this is an indication, they're really trying to push forward to this, where there's Nike trying to go in with it.
Wow.
Dude,
It's already
there's so many other stuff like that they're pumping into it now. So it's just
somebody's
very
already been
interesting.
married on the universe or the
Has he?
metaverse. Yeah, they have the metaverse already has their first marriage.
Jesus, dude. I think it's more for clout nowadays. I think they're trying to really kind of, say it was the first this in the metaverse, it was first that in the metaverse. I mean, there's
Right.
always sexual allegations in the metaverse. We were talking about that not too long
Already.
ago,
Yeah.
dude. It's like fuck, man. So there's already some bullshit going down within the fucking virtual reality world, I guess you can say, right? But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, we're moving towards it. At this point, there's no looking back, and it's gonna be a very interesting 2022 to the 2023 and so on and so forth. So I mean, it's as real as it's gonna get from now. But yeah, it's wild. It is
I
wild.
hear that. I hear that. Hey, yeah, I'm down to, it'd be cool, dude, if we could do. Do you remember that site Bum Fights?
Bum fight.
Remember
No,
you?
tell
Oh,
me.
dude. Okay, so the guy that started this thing got in so much trouble.
Bum
So
fight.
he would go up to homeless
Oh
people, right?
god. Okay.
And he'd give them money and be like, "Hey, if I give you like $20, will you go fight him?" And then they would go to the other guy like, "Hey, if I give you $20, can you fight him?" Or they'd pay him in beer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd put him on YouTube. Or they had bumfights.com, I think it was what it was. But and this is like before YouTube was a big thing, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, um so that's what you'd get. You'd have all these bums fighting each other, and, and that was what you watched. So it would be pretty cool if you could like challenge another metaverse attendee and be like, "Hey, you want to duke this out? Let's do it. Let's do it in the meta."
Hey man, but I mean, it is kind of a fucked up thing that dude was doing, but it's innovative because I think there was a lot of other people that really kind of got their shine from doing stuff like that. What is it? He was a notable fighter. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Kimbo Slice. Have you heard about him?
Oh yeah, Kimbo.
Yeah, and it was like backyard
Dead.
street fighting, and that was kind of the same concept.
Yeah.
But these dudes were actually real. They're going out there, fist fucking swinging and everything.
Right.
So yeah. So but this dude, he
What
was
about-
fighting. He was fighting people on the street. Fucking trying to
Dude.
get them to fight. That's
God, I would never want to fight that guy. But then didn't they put him in the ring and he got his ass beat or what?
I believe he did. He fought a couple times. I really don't know what his record was. R.I.P. though. He did pass away not too long ago. But yeah, I don't know. I want to say he did though. He did get beat in the octagon, and he tried to do that. And I don't know. I think that was kind of the last I heard of him. He was really more known for, I think, his street fights, like him just going out there and challenging everybody. And yeah, he was knocking people out at that point. So
he's definitely the guy you want in your crew.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
I got Kimbo on my
most-
side. You
yeah,
don't want to.
most
You don't want to.
definitely.
You don't want to test. So what's this thing I'm reading? It just came across my news feed.
All right.
Mike Tyson and one of the Logan brothers. Was it Jake Logan?
Yeah. So I don't know. At this point, dude, if that truly happens, I would say I hope Mike goes out there and tries to go for the knockout and really goes out there try to
He won't.
swing
It's
it.
just an exhibition fight.
So so I think that's really what it is, and I think we've already kind of talked a little bit about it on the pod here, where all these exhibition fights are becoming kind of like the norm. Where I think they were saying that even Floyd was going to go over to Dubai and fight this fighter over there for X amount of money. I think at this point it's all about the cash, but
I like it though. It feels like a video game. Like how you would have NBA some NBA game, right? And you could make your own player.
Yeah.
And then you could play any team, NBA Live 95 or whatever it was. But I feel like that's what these exhibition fights are. Like, hey, what if we get Mike Tyson and Jake Logan to fight? I hope it's Jake Logan. I hope I'm not. I don't know the brothers' names at all.
I think it's Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Oh. Yeah, that's
It's all
that's
good,
how
though. It's
out
all
of
good.
touch with Hollywood that I am.
That's how hammered you are and coked out you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Snow White's got me.
The fucking what is it? The Jack Daniels.
The one fight that I watched, I remember it was Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather when Manny had a hurt shoulder and they wanted to sue him for not reporting his injury because a lot of people but I remember that was such a letdown. That was a letdown, but that was like I really wanted that to be a good fight.
Yeah, I think that's what the expectation was from a lot of people, majority of people. I think at that point, that was kind of like the fight of the century. You know, what kind of what like Muhammad Ali versus Frazier was, or dude, I mean
Not
Mike
that
Tyson
big.
in his heydays and everybody else. Those fights where it would spark up a lot of freaking attention, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really all that great. I mean, it was just more
Yeah.
of like clinch, hit here,
Yeah.
move around. It's just like, ah, man, I just hated to see it kind of play out that way, where we waited this long and this is what we
Yeah.
got. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but but yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy though. That if that's gonna fall through, I mean, I'm gonna have to catch it. Fuck. I mean, I'm not gonna pay for it, but I'll catch it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Yeah,
fucking
I'll,
try to
I'll
see
watch
what
it. I'll
happens.
watch it from my neighbor's window.
Right? Just fucking binoculars out, just looking out.
Actually, it's my gun scope.
You forget to turn off the beam. It's like, oh shit, turn it
Oops.
That's hella funny.
Didn't know that worked.
Oh shit. Fuck yeah. Noted. All right. Let's move to our next topic. All right. So in regards to video games, which is a good segue, that worked out perfectly. This is interesting because I think I've told you, I think at the beginning of this week, that Microsoft acquired Blizzard. Blizzard being, what is it? I think it's a distributing company for a couple of big name games like Call of Duty and a few other ones. I think World of Warcraft and all that. So this
Like
has a little to do
Activision.
something with that, right? So.
Mhm.
This is what the article says, but this is what the title is first. I'll say this. Netflix and Microsoft show the video game has become too big for tech giants to ignore. This is what the article says. The business of video games is having a moment. Less than 2 weeks after Take-Two announced its $12.7 billion for Zynga, and just days after Microsoft announced its record-breaking $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Netflix co-founder and co-chief executive officer Reed Hastings said Thursday that building out video gaming to where Netflix can amaze our members by having an absolute best in the category is his goal. We have to be differently great at it, Hastings said during Netflix's earnings conference call. When mobile gaming is world leading and we're some of the best producers, like where we are in film today, having 2 of the top 10, then you should ask what's next. So let's nail the thing and not just be in it for the sake of being in it. So yeah, so remember we were talking about streaming wars?
Yes.
This is my guess. This is what's going to happen. I think this is kind of where it's morphing into, right? We have Netflix. We have Amazon too on the sidelines because, I mean, dude, Bezos got money to fucking spend, and I know he's going to want to get his fucking hands on this, and I can see them announcing something here soon as well. That's my take. You got fucking what is it? Microsoft acquiring Activision, and then this other company, what they called Take-Two, announced its $12.7 billion for Zynga. It's gonna be a game streaming war from here on out too, as well. Aside from the shows and movies, it's gonna be gaming as well, and it's already kind of started with, I think, Microsoft. You pay, I think it's $10, and you get like 100 titles for those $10 a month, and you can just play them whenever you want, or download them to your Xbox and play them just like that for $12 a month or $10 or however much it is. But dude, $69 billion, dude.
That's amazing.
Microsoft's
So
got money to fucking
you
spend.
were talking about Jeff Bezos money. Just a little bit off topic. Through this whole down slump that we've seen in the stock market, crypto market, Jeff Bezos is $20 billion poorer today. So I talk about the money that I'm losing. It's nothing compared to Bezos. He's the biggest loser.
Dude. Yeah, but it's crazy to think, like, what is his actual net worth? Like, if you can give a guess, or maybe you might know the exact number.
Nah, I don't
like
know
how much he's up there, like in the hundreds, right? Like hundreds of billion. Like, I'm assuming. I really don't know.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't. I could. If we had a Jamie here, I could be like, hey, look that up.
One day.
One day. You're. Stay in tune, people, because you might be our next Jamie.
Right. Send your resumes. No, but it's dude. Yeah, 20. Fuck, dude, that's insane. $20 billion less than what he had.
So So with this gaming thing, Microsoft, they need a win, right? Because remember when they first came out with the MP3 player? I think they called it the Zune.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yes,
right.
Yes.
And then Apple was just like, I don't think so.
Yeah, they got the iPod.
Because I remember I knew someone that had a Zune, and I was like, what is that? Why wouldn't you just get an iPod? you know. And then
Loser.
so I ended up getting an iPod, and I loved it, right? But I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
looking at the zoo, and I'm like, that thing's a piece of garbage. That thing's trash, you know. And he's like, no, this thing's the hardest thing since sliced bread, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, Microsoft quit supporting it, quit making it, and all that. And then they tried to come out with their own phone, didn't they? You know, I don't know.
I
Maybe I'm thinking Google, because Google put out their own phone, but
yeah.
like they keep coming out with all these L's, dude. They're walking out with so many L's. Like, dude, you were good at you know, Microsoft Word, you know, like that's all you get. But
Yeah.
everything else that they've gone in, they've just absolutely. I mean, you know, they've probably had a lot of wins on the sideline, just quieter companies by acquiring companies, but as far as like the iPod or the new, you know, like the iPhone, and it's just like
Game changing.
they shoot and it's a miss every single time. So I hope, for the sake of I am a Microsoft holder, um I hope that they get a win here. That would be good. I'd love to see my Microsoft stocks go up a little
You
bit.
boom up a little bit, say
Little
make you a
bit.
little richer, right?
Not a lot, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So you know
Um
what's funny though? Before I lose track of this, because I get
yeah,
you know I have
yeah.
these things that just go through my mind pretty quick, and it's just kind of hard to
Absolutely.
fucking
ADD,
grab it.
you know me.
So what's actually pretty crazy now that I think about it? Have you ever been to the Microsoft store before? The ones that they have, I think they have one at Bellevue Square, and then they have another one. I don't remember where else, but I think the one in Bellevue is the one that I went to, and I think the one at U District. But anyways,
No.
their stores look identical to like the Apple stores, like almost to where they have the same vibe. Where like you know you walk into the Apple store and they have everything kind of like simple set up and everything. Where they have
Mm-hmm.
like their watches, their phones, you name it, they have everything, right? It's the same thing. I feel like Microsoft's trying to do the same thing, but you know, like you said, they come up short. They really
Right.
don't have all like the cool stuff they come out with the new Apple Watch, the iPad, the iPhone. It's like
Yep.
then they have computers, they have the Xbox. I
The
mean, a few
Surface.
other a few other cool little things, but it's like it's not at that level to where you know what Apple is right now or what it came out to be.
Bro,
So yeah,
you
they're coming up short, man.
I am so sick of Apple being at the top of everything. I mean, I have my Apple Watch, I've got my iPhone, uh you know, I had the even the I don't know, the AirPods, the
Yeah,
remember that, what was that? It doesn't matter. But anyway, I've always run with Apple, and I'm like, I want Microsoft to do something, or a competitor.
yeah.
I want a like Samsung. One time I tried to get a Samsung Galaxy, and it was because I was going out of country and I needed a new phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? That I there were Apple had I was on a waiting list, and I'm like, no, I can't wait. I got to get something today. And so then I ended up getting the Galaxy, and I had to keep that thing for 2 years. And that was, I mean, it was okay, right? But it was, I mean, it was not as seamless as Apple. Apple has
Mm-hmm.
made their iPads, everything, and Microsoft, it's just they swing and they miss. They cannot figure out how to make things so seamless together the way that
Yeah.
Apple does. And I hate Apple. I do. I hate Apple. And but I they make things too good that I end up shelling out my money for them, because it's just like, it's too good. It's too good. I can't live without it. I tried. I can't.
It's a love and hate relationship, man. I
Yeah,
feel it.
yeah.
I
It's
feel
just
it.
like,
Oh yeah.
and then you want Microsoft, or you know, not Microsoft. You know, they're too big too. I want a competitor to come out and be able to dethrone Apple.
Yeah.
But dude, the bar is just too
It's
high
pretty
for those
high.
people.
Yeah, exactly. It's too high. But maybe soon. We'll see. Maybe with this, you know, talking out there, someone's gonna step up. Like, you know, fuck, they got that extra fucking cheese to fucking start up another company or phone company or whatever and shell out, man. So who knows?
And then
Maybe they're working on something right now. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, we'll see. But and then back to the video games though. So
Okay.
one thing, so I'm going to tie this in with crypto too.
All
So
right. Let's
one
hear it.
thing,
Let's
when
hear it.
you're playing Call of Duty, you
Mm-hmm.
can pay for these maps, right?
You can pay for like the gun skins, the special skins for the character, certain characters.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think you can get like double XP to like you know what is a level up your guns and all that shit. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I mean
the point is,
there's
you're paying your cash and
yes.
you're getting extra stuff in the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fortnite's the same way. If you want new skins, new outfits, new costumes, whatever they call them, skin, Yeah, you can do all that. They have, you can pay for accessories, you can pay for dances, all that. So you're, that's how these companies, and I think that's brilliant. It's just like you don't have to buy it. Um, Shoot, and then there's one thing I want to go back to the Apple too. Apple and
Okay, all right.
Microsoft, they're in a fight. So anyway, but now I'm in crypto, and one thing I'm seeing, and it's really scaring a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
is crypto. They're making games now that when you go into these games, you pay using these crypto tokens.
Mm.
And so there's two things going on. There's a game that you can play, and like for instance, like Candy Crush or whatever, something, and
Okay.
you're paying in crypto to keep playing. But then at the same time, you've got investors, people like me, that come in, and you're looking at, oh, okay, people are playing this game. One big one is Axie Infinity. They have this game, and they have all these people playing this game, and if you play the game, you get more crypto, and then the investors come in. But what is scaring people is the fact that, okay, so are we just never going to be able to just pay for a game anymore? Now is it just they're going to nickel and dime us on every single thing we do? If we want to go up to the next level, now we have to pay another $150 worth of crypto, and that's what's really scary. So that's the one thing when it comes to gaming that is, I'm just a crypto investor. I'm not a gamer in crypto, and I hope that they can stay away, or at least find, if it's inevitable, if it's going to happen, I hope they can find a happy medium. But I just, I think of all the people that don't have money, and they just want to go, and they just want to relax and play a video game. Nothing is going to stress you out more if you're poor than jumping on your favorite video game, and then going as far as you can, and then you can't advance any further unless you pay more crypto.
Yeah.
That's a pile of shit.
So that's funny though, because I'm gonna take it one step further. So sometimes we come across these like free games that come out right on your phone, or they promote like certain little games and all that, and that's what they do. They reel you in with, oh, the game's for free. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. But if you
Fortnite.
want to, if you need to, if you want to, go that extra level, or get to that level easier without having to, like, lose and all this stuff, you're gonna have to buy our whatever for $10, or 20, whatever how much it is, and that's how they do it. That's what's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost kind of using that same method too with what you're talking about. That's kind of the similarities I see.
It is. I mean, that's why I mentioned that first.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's crazy. But anyway, go back to Microsoft, or not Microsoft and Apple, but Apple. What's funny, so you have your Android devices and you have
Mm-hmm.
your Apple devices. So they're having a little fight, and this thing has gone, well, it's in the newspaper, and they, I guess it was on Twitter, where I forget who it was, but they were talking about how they felt like Apple was being a bully by,
Mm.
so if I send you a text, I'm on my iPhone, and I send you a text, but you're on an Android, when you text
Oh, okay. I
me,
think I know what you're
your
saying. Okay.
words are going to come back green, not blue. And
Oh, yes. I think
and
I've
so
seen this
they're
before.
saying
Yes, yes.
people with Apple, they think they're superior. They have the premium thing, and it's hurting too many people emotionally. And they're saying we need to clean this up. This is dirty. This is not how we want to do it. And I'm thinking, how big of a deal is it when somebody's words turn up green? Like, I mean, okay,
I don't even think about
hey,
it.
as an Apple guy, exactly. When someone sends me a text and it's green, I'm going, oh, okay, so they're on an Android. But I don't think, oh, I should lend him five
Peasant. Why are
bucks
they
because he's
texting
probably
me? Why are
poor.
they? Yeah,
Yeah,
peasant. Why are they texting me from an Android phone and not an Apple?
right, right. Like,
The
what are they?
fuck?
And are there people like that? Are there people that like, ooh, you should stop texting me? Like, I
I'd
don't
be
think
caught dead
so.
if I'm texting with
I
you.
don't think
Yeah.
so. I think you just have to deal with the fact that there's always going to be superior products. There's always going to be products that maybe aren't necessarily inferior, but aren't as superior as
Yeah.
the top. And that's the way of life.
It's
And
preferences at the
and
end
you
of the day.
shouldn't have to pretend, I don't have to pretend like I don't have an Apple. It just is what it is. And
Yeah.
and good on Apple. And again, I bashed them, but good on them for being able to set themselves apart. This is why the bar is so high, people. I hate the company, but I can't get away. They are too good. They're too good, and I love them. I love the stuff that they put out.
See, but that's what's funny though. That you said they set the bar that high. That little one thing, where they say that separates from the Apple users to Android users, just because your screen turns out green and yours is blue.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's got people crying on Twitter, probably drinking more than one glass of wine a day, freaking out, watching a John Cena HBO Max Peacemaker movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And playing Candy Crush and paying for the extra levels, hitting all the bases.
See how this all comes full circle? Holy shit. That is crazy though. I did read a little bit about that, where it's causing this fucking bullying fucking thing where, certain people are getting too much shit for it, but it's like, dude, is it really something to really worry about? Is it really something to really have it, like, I guess separate those and think of them a certain way? It's like, for me, a fucking text message is a text message, and I leave it at that. I don't think about it more than that, to be honest. So it's wild to think that it got to this point now where it's a fucking problem. Everybody stop, So
okay,
yeah.
I'll give the green letter people credit. I always assume that, hey, they're tired, they're fed up with Apple to the point that they're willing to have the green letters just so they're not supporting the top. I always see them as idealist. I'm thinking, man, I wish I had that. I wish I had balls like that. I just don't. I just it's all seamless. I need the top. I need the best.
I gotta have it. You're like all scratchy. I need to have
it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had an Android or just but my first phone I had, my very first phone before Apple even had an iPhone or anything. They were still playing with Macs. I had the Droid. It was the very first phone. It was a Droid, and I remember it had a slide up screen, and I could text.
The Motorola one.
No, yes, the Motorola Droid. Yes, I loved that thing, man. I loved it. But then
a lot of people had it. I remember back when that came out. So it was a popping phone. So I mean, they do some good stuff too. I mean, you can't really break away from them. But right now, I feel like you're right. Apple's really kind of holding the title with just who doesn't have a fucking iPhone.
Right.
The majority of people. So yeah, bro.
I will, for the green letter people, the droids. My burner phone is a Droid, so
there you go. See, best of both worlds. When he needs to talk some fucking confidential shit, he'll hit up the burner phone.
That's it. Just do your business. You're done with it.
Oh shit, dude. So, okay. So one thing I do want to throw in here, just because it's I couldn't find the article, or I found an article, but it wouldn't let me read all the way through. I had to pay, and I'm not gonna fucking pay. Again, we're talking about, hey, you want to read this article? You got to pay this extra fucking $2, whatever. But no, fuck that. We're rebels.
Not me.
But in Los Angeles, are you seeing what the fuck is happening with the people breaking into the freaking trains?
Yes.
Holy
disaster.
Shit, dude. There was a video via the interwebs, Twitter to be exact. Full blown. This dude just walks up to one of them. This train is fully stopped, right? This dude's fucking carrying out Vizio TVs, and I think they're 65 inches. And they're carrying them out like nothing and just walking off with them. I mean, you gotta be fucking like really just like this. And dude, and there's actually a picture that shows the railroads where these trains pass by, just filled with trash, cardboard trash. And they're talking about how like they're breaking into people's packages that were coming from UPS, COVID testing kits, it's like a variety of things.
Yeah.
And they were talking to people that are within the area that live, I guess, around there, and they were saying that this looks just like a third world country. We got to take it under, our hands to really, do something about this as well, like clean it up. And there's people that are coming together to clean this mess up, because they're like, the what is it, the high ups aren't doing shit about it. The people that say that they're for the people aren't doing anything about it. So they're cleaning it up and all that.
So that situation down there is
wild.
Really it's so Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and then I want to say the mayor of was it LA? The DA is someone who they don't believe in prison. They don't believe in time. So they have a law down there that says basically you can't arrest these people. So they've taken the hands. So then also like the railroad laid off a bunch of their police because they couldn't afford to do it. And then the LA police are told, hey, you can't apprehend these people. So they're just, I mean, these
Oh
people
wow.
are living lawless. And it was interesting because when I was in the Philippines the first time in 2013, I noticed that third world country. Um, I noticed that at the gate, at the entrance of every store, there was an armed security guard.
Yeah.
And and I said, why is that? And they said, well, the police can't patrol everyone, and there's so much poverty that now every single store in the city has to hire their own security. And I said, this was in 2013. I said, I
Mm-hmm.
think that America is one day going to get to this point because our politicians, they keep taking our money. They're acting just like the Filipino um, uh, government, where they're hiding all this money, they're taking all this money, they're keeping it for themselves. And so we're paying all these taxes. Our taxes are rising. Now we have inflation up 7%. And so we're getting less and less and less. The government's getting more and more and more, and yet they have nothing to show for it. We're seeing worse conditions. We're seeing more crimes, more murders, more the car theft. We're just seeing more rapes, everything all across the board. And I just said, I think now when I see this, it's like that's exactly what's happening. More and more stores, even in Seattle, our neck of the woods, more and more stores are hiring their own security
Yeah.
because they
Actually,
cannot
I've seen
rely
more of
on the
that.
police anymore. The police have been defunded to the point where no, they're not gonna, they're basically just gonna respond to homicide calls is all. That's it.
Dude. Yeah,
It's
it's getting
insane.
pretty wild there. No, it's getting pretty wild out there, man. That's kind of BS where they're saying that kind of like, how are you not gonna fucking apprehend somebody that's just like legitimately stealing right in front of you, and you're
Yeah.
just gonna let it happen? It's like, I guess
Well,
at this point, man.
think of, okay, I don't know if you know this, but in the state of Washington, the state where we reside, our governor has made a law. It's called the no high speed chase thing. So if someone steals my car, right, and I call the police and they happen to see my car driving on the road, they cannot do any high speed chase on it. They cannot pursue a high speed chase. They have to let him go. And
That's fucking wild.
it's insane. It's insane. It's lawless. I mean, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. I'm seeing it. The rise in crime, and it's
Yeah.
just, again, we're always, I always talk about moving, and it's just like the other day my wife came home, and she her phone was like, hey, she got this little notification on her phone that some device has been following her for a while. I said, oh, that's interesting. And so, I'm like, where did it start? She's like, at the grocery store. I said, interesting. Okay. So I'm bringing in, and before she even told me that, though, here's the crazy thing. Before she told me, I'm, uh, I'm bringing in the groceries, and I noticed this white truck started to turn in, and then he saw me and he turned the other way. And
Oh
I didn't think
shit. Yeah.
anything of it. But then when she told me that she was getting this tracker, I'm like, I wonder if that truck was following her, was following her home, thinking she was a single woman, and then he saw me and he went the other way. And I was just thinking, that's wild. So I'm like underneath our car looking for any, like an Apple tile or Apple
Yeah.
air track or whatever, air tag,
The air
and
tags,
or
what
a
they call them. Yeah.
tile. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for those because there's those articles where that's what these creeps are doing. They're finding women, and they're tracking their cars, and then they're getting them. So it's happening all around, and it's and our police are wearing the handcuffs that Jay Inslee, our governor, has put on them. They're actually the ones that are handcuffed from protecting us,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's fucking crazy. No, that is wild. I mean, I'm sure you had the hammer on you just in case, right? Shit got fucking dicey on that one.
Yeah. I'm always hot.
I'm
I'm
always
always
like,
hot.
let's go. No, but yeah, no, good thing nothing happened. That is fucking wild. Definitely, that's just crazy. That's just something from a fucking movie to think like someone's just fucking following you. Then something on your phone pops up saying that someone's fucking been following you, or a device has been tracking or whatever, dude. That is shit is wild. So nah, man. Yeah,
And
for
I
all you
said,
people, stay safe out there. Again, this is something that we definitely want to bring to your attention because you never know. I mean, that's the thing with in life, right? You never know when it could happen to you, me, my boy here, and she can get really dicey, like we say here on the pod. But
mm-hmm.
no, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. Good thing nothing really happened, and she's okay and she's at home. But yeah, man, that's crazy. But yeah, what's happening in L.A. fucking wild. Uh, Fuck you, whoever steals. That's fucking crazy. That's something that's just I never really stood
I
behind. Where
think
just like you work for what you want in
it's
life and you get it. You know what I'm saying?
poverty is, and I grew up poor. I know what it's about, but it's a very complex issue, and a lot of it has to do with these trade agreements that our government has made, where they are offering other countries like China and like Mexico and India, and they're giving them the work now, and
Mm-hmm.
then taking those manufacturing jobs away from us. And it's really caused those of us that don't have good jobs to be like, well, okay, what am I going to do? And so it's put some people in desperate positions, and it's put other people, of course, just do it just to do it. But with the poverty that we are witnessing in this country, we need something to give. And people, for as long as you have this disparity of wages between the CEOs and the regular, blue collar workforce, it, it's going to continue this way. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to figure out a way to lessen the pay of the CEOs, and raise the prices to where we're all even keeled again. And I love him. My favorite president, Theodore Roosevelt, he would not let this happen. If a country got too big, he's the one that created antitrust and said, and he broke, if a business got too big, right? Because like you got Microsoft, you got Apple, they're buying businesses like we go shopping for groceries, right? Just think of it. Every time you go shopping for groceries, Microsoft and Apple just bought 30 businesses.
Yeah.
And so Theodore Roosevelt, he was the one that said that ain't going to happen. And so when you did that, it took the power and the money away from a small condensed group, and spread it evenly, so your mom and pops could make it, could survive, could hire people at higher wages, rather than have your big box stores where the CEOs, they're the ones getting the money, and then your associates are just getting paid just shit wages.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel prices, eliminates middle class. It's just you're rich or you're poor. That's really what it
That's
comes
what
down to,
they're
right?
doing. Yeah, they've really.
I feel it. I feel it. Definitely. Well, yeah, man. No, but it's crazy. The rise in crime, just people being put in fucking tough situations. It's understandable. But it's fucking again. If you're gonna what does that saying go? If you're gonna do the time, or if you're gonna do the crime, better pay the time. That's how I say it, right? No, I don't know. I think I butchered that. I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that.
And before, I know we're coming to an end here, but the one last thing I want to talk about is the
All right,
screen behind me. For anybody who's
let's hear it.
listening, it's the Bitcoin. I took a screenshot of Coin Market Cap at with Bitcoin hitting a price that we have not seen since earlier this year, since the very beginning of this year. $35,182. And we're talking about it's literally halved from its peak at 69,000 earlier, just a few months ago. And the reason why I put this here is because there's a lot of fear in the market. There's a lot of people in crypto, a lot of investors that are like, oh, I'm getting out of here. It's too scary for them, right? It's got too dicey. And so what I'm here to say is, I've certainly taken my hits, and I had a couple of good wins this year, baby. I had a couple of good wins, but all I just want to say, this is the time. This is the time. Crypto's not going anywhere, right? The reason why this crypto's down, there's few reasons. There's one, the Fed has announced that they're looking at raising interest rates 3 times this year, right? Which is because
Damn.
they provided so much stimulus, so they're trying to get
Mm-hmm.
this inflation under control. 7% is insane. We haven't seen times like this since 1981, right? This is before you and I were born.
Yeah.
So we were witnessing what our parents had to endure, right? And
yeah.
so anyway, so then the riskiest assets are the first ones to take the hit. So then it got stronger, and then there's the inflation, Fed raising interest rate. Then across the world, you have Russia, who decided that they are going to ban cryptocurrencies as a whole. They're not going to allow it. So then that took a hit. And then remember, cryptocurrency is a global thing. So Bitcoin is global. So if something happens on another side of the world, we're going to feel it. We're all the crypto community is going to feel it. So that you got that. And then you have this overall sentiment that, we are about to step into a bear market, right? I mean, you're looking at the stocks. The stocks have been just taking a beating, and that's where we're at. So my advice to people who want to make a change, not financial advice, just hear me out.
There you go.
This is the time to acquire. This is the time. This Bitcoin at 35,000, you're not going to see that. I mean, right now, right? We're at this period. You're not going to see that again. And so acquire as much as you want. And if you just want to play it safe, you don't want to, just stick with Bitcoin. Stick with Bitcoin. But I do advise people that this is the time. Like a quote that I live by. It's by one of the Rothschilds. Says, when there's blood in the street, that's when you buy. When everything's going up, right? So remember, if you're acquiring while everything's low right now, when everything starts mooning, then that's the time that you start taking profits. Take a little bit, don't take it all, but take a slice of the pie, take the family on a vacation, do something fun with it, right? Enjoy the fruits of your labor. But definitely, this is the time when everybody's scared. Bitcoin has been here since 2013, or well, I think 2013 was Coinbase, 2011. Bitcoin has been here for 10 years. It's not going anywhere. It's here to stay, no matter what laws, the government's looking at laws and blah, blah, blah. It's not going anywhere. So just stick with it. There's too much money. We are starting to have crypto lobbies now, lobbyists where they are going to Washington on the behalf of the crypto space, because you got Coinbase, you've got the stadium in LA, the crypto.com stadium.
Yeah.
You've got NBA making deals with cryptos with one of the cryptocurrencies, Anchor. You've got Tom Brady selling NFTs. It's the crypto space is large. It's huge. It's not, there's too much money invested in crypto to allow for the government to be able to say, we're going to ban it. Not happening. So acquire right now when everything is low, and then just let it sit, right? May dip a little bit more, maybe, but then just to hear me out, you hold it. And in crypto, we have this thing called HODL, HODL, and just HODL and watch until it starts mooning. And I'm telling you, it's going to be life-changing.
Yeah. Again, this ain't no financial advice. We're just saying, again, Brett's just speaking out of, this is his Brett Sardamas moment. So definitely, he's pretty right when he gives these fucking guesses and how things play out. So
I'm just saying, and when I get crypto rich, right, I want everybody to see the struggle that I went through. It wasn't just an overnight success. It was years in the making. Making.
Out of the mud. What is it? Made it from the mud or something like that?
I don't know. Started from the bottom. Now I'm here.
That's the one he does know for sure.
Hanging on the pod, drinking non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah. I know that was right off the top right there. That was off the tip right there, man.
That's it. But yeah, that's it.
That's some game from the White Rhino. But with that being said, we're gonna wrap this episode up. Obviously, go catch all of our past previous episodes that we've recorded on Spotify, YouTube, TuneIn FM Radio, Apple Podcasts, all that jazz. For everybody that's left some nice actual comments, we got some new reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Nice.
Thank you to those nice comments. It means a lot to us. Definitely helps us on the algorithm. So if you would be so kindly, go do that. If you want, again, this is not just telling you should. If you want to leave us a nice little review and a good rating, hopefully, go do that. And yeah, we'd be really appreciative. And maybe we'll probably start doing some shout outs for people that actually, we'll read them out maybe here on the pod, and just to give, those people shout outs.
Yeah, I like that.
Just to keep in contact with our lovely listeners and viewers. But we'll catch you in the next one. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Have a happy Friday. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care. We love you. Peace.
Peace.